Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Safe Room, a survival horror game club podcast. I'm Grace, and with me is Rose.
Am I Rose or am I Bluest Rose? You know,
Ooh, you know.
what if I
Good
what
question.
if I remove part of my name? Does that change who I am?
That's a good question. What if I was
Silent Hill
Ace?
F, baby.
That sounds bad.
What did you say?
What if I was Ace? because that's part of my name. I'm removing part of my name. Not like asexual.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Which I
workshop that one.
Yeah, no, you're all good. Yeah, wow. Silent Hill F, baby.
The new Silent Hill came out,
Yeah.
and we played it, and it took us long because the game wants you to play it multiple times.
A minimum of 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we are. Happy Halloween, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Fall continues.
What's a greater horror than playing a game 3 times?
Oh my god.
You know?
That's so funny that Silent Hill Ascension does not have a Wikipedia page.
No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Does it have a Silent Hill Memories page? It's got it.
Silent Hill The Short Message has a page. The fucking PS Vita dungeon crawler game has a wiki page. But Silent Hill Ascension does not have a Wikipedia page.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Where do we even start with this video game?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would like to say, I know we have differing feelings, I think, on some of this game.
I'm excited.
But I will say, they did it. They made a good one.
They made a Silent Hill game set in Japan, and it's mostly pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just from like an aesthetic level, it's fucking Silent Hill, baby.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think it just kind of like, and I mean, I just appreciate the way that like it fires. The reason it's like, because I don't care about like the franchise, right? Like the sanctity of the IP, but like this game fires on the same cylinders that Silent Hill 2 and 3 do for me, right? Like it feels like, it's games about individual people experiencing like deeply emotional and difficult things with this like lens of kind of like horror and I guess like body horror. And I feel like I'm using dumb language to describe this, but it just has the thing that I think is appealing and approaches it in a really different way. Like this is, like no other Silent Hill game has like an ensemble cast the way that this kind of does, right? And I think there's something interesting about this game being about like a community or about like one person's relationship to a community in a way that like Silent Hill 2 is about individuals, right? Who kind of only fleetingly and briefly encounter each other, right? And this like everyone in this game has history together. Anyway, I don't want to like launch too far into it, but I just mean that it's like it feels deeply in conversation thematically with prior games, and then also is doing something I think that feels new. And I think that's just really exciting.
Yeah. I don't. The end game of this game, I really don't like, and we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's so much in the game that I do like, and I think it's largely successful in just being a Silent Hill game, but also like doing a bunch of like new stuff that Silent Hill typically doesn't do. I think that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, how do we summarize this one?
You're Hinako, who is a schoolgirl in Japan in the
Yep.
1960s. And you... Okay. First gripe for me with this game is that the game doesn't tell you it's about an arranged marriage until the second play. Well, it does by the end of the first playthrough, and then the second playthrough, like, oh, there's new dialogue.
Okay.
They're arguing about being doing an arranged marriage.
Yeah, being in debt, and yeah.
And so anyway, you're Hinako. There's an arranged marriage happening. You have your best friend from childhood named Shu, who Shu really likes Hinako. It's kind of like a toss up whether she reciprocates those feelings or not. And then there's two other friends that I don't remember the names of.
Rinko and Sakuko.
Sakuko immediately dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Because what happens is the town gets corrupted by some red force, some corruption that blooms all like the flowers and stuff that you see in the trailers and stuff. Anyway, that stuff, and this is also like imagery in the game that's unsettling, is like the like thorns from the flowers like poke through the orifices of this young girl, and she just fucking collapses and she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, Shu, and Rinko kind of run away, and you go to various places all over town, to, I guess, I don't know what their objective is.
I mean, they're just trying to get out or trying to find like adults.
Yeah, they're trying to escape the town. Yeah.
You know, yeah. And so it's like, yeah, you kind of go around and you find out more about like their relationship. Like, Rinko is clearly in love with Shu and resents Hinako's friendship with him, and is kind of trying to like separate them. And you also start having sections where when you're like knocked out or asleep, then you have like dreams about this like sexy fox man, Tumblr sexy fox man. Mm-hmm. What is like putting you through these kind of like marriage rituals, running you around like a little mouse in a maze, doing shit in this like other, I mean, it's the other world, right? In the way that Silent Hill has these things. And it's like this kind of ornate medieval Shinto like shrine aesthetic, right? Throughout. In the dream world, Hinako encounters Sakuko and Rinko as like I forget which they are respectively. Like I think Rinko's like a priest. Maybe they both are priests, but I'm sure there's a distinction between them. As like bosses, and then also like kills dream versions of them in like a ritual. And it's like after that like Shu and Rinko disappear, right? Like she kills them in the dream and then they don't show up in the game, like in the real world again. She's also like seeing this doll, which keeps warning her against like going forth with this fox mask man, and but is ignoring the warnings or not really addressing them. And then she participates in the most fucked up ritual at all, which is her right arm is severed and replaced with a gigantic fox arm. Her back is branded with a hot iron. And then they slice the top of her face off and they put a fox mask on top of it. And this also corresponds to like a gameplay change in those sections where you could like use the fox arm, and that gives you like in those sections there's like respawning enemies, and you can like then like stop them from respawning by like holding A for a second, or X, I guess, depending on what your controller choice is. But in the real world, she's desperately trying to find Shu and can't. In Shu's home, like her mom calls her to bring her home, and then goes into her home and kind of starts seeing these memories of like her abusive dad throwing a knife at her, like her relationship with Junko, her older sister, who like left to get married a few years ago and whom she was really close with, but now feels like very distant from. This ending bit is kind of tough to summarize. Do you want to take a crack at it? I've been talking for a bit.
So yeah, you basically fight your parents, right? Did you cover the Hinako? The Shimizu house. Where basically like you go through the house, you see a bunch of like flashbacks that allude to kind of.
Oh yeah, it's also PT because you go through the house like 3 times.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you see these flashbacks that kind of flesh out Hinako's relationship to her family, and to Shu as well. And then at the end of those flashbacks, you get the 2 Hinakos in conversation with one another.
Yeah.
And the content of that changes depending on what route you're on.
Yes.
And so at the end of all that, you fight your like parents who are like corrupted by this evil that's taking over the town. And then after that, you see a white figure in a wedding dress eviscerate your parents in real life outside of the dream world.
Yeah.
And then you go back to Dark Hinako, I guess I'll call her, the one that has mutilated her body for this marriage, and that is basically her and her sister. Her sister's kind of leading her through this whole ritual because she has gone through this as well. And she's basically saying, hey, say your final goodbyes to your parents and all that stuff. And then
right,
you go through the town.
Also that, I mean, we'll get into it, but that sequence is so, the like hazy pink that's everywhere, and the way she's like, the town is celebrating me, so haunting.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
You go through the town, you eventually get to the Shimizu house, and then you kill your parents, because it's revealed that is happening concurrently with what is happening to the other Hinako. And then it switches back to the other Hinako, where you wake up in the shrine area once again, and fight the final boss, which again varies differently between the different endings. The first ending, I forget who the boss was for the first ending.
You fight the bride again. I mean, for the first time. And then you get the thing where you can like have infinity pills.
Yeah, so basically the first ending is like, it's we gotta back up.
Right.
Throughout the Shu makes medication for Hinako to like deal with like her headaches and like Just like
And
stress.
he's like the child of a pharmacist, to be clear. He's not just like you know.
And so, at the beginning of the game, you have like a container full of red pills, and then you also see them just like around as part of the environment as you're like going around and picking stuff up. The first ending of the game is basically Kindago kind of disassociating from the entire situation, as you're walking through hallways with piles of pills, all strung all around. And then it's eventually like revealed in like a post-credit stinger that like Hinako like killed everybody in the wedding ceremony. And did she go back to the Shimizu house and kill them? I don't remember, but
I think she's like on a rampage in the town. I don't remember the specifics, but yeah.
But so anyway, that happened.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can do two other endings.
Yeah, there's basically like subsequent endings kind of like fill out the rest of the thing. Like in one of them, Hinako's like human self is destroyed, and Shu tries to like talk her out of getting married, and you have like a boss fight with him. And in the other one, like Hinako's human self triumphs over her fox self, and Shu helps her like escape from the wedding ceremony. And then in kind of the true ending, she reconciles her human and fox selves, and like Fox Mask, whose name is Tokoyuki, agrees basically to like hold off on the relationship until like she's had more life experience and like they can make like an informed decision about what they want to do in the future. And that's basically it. Also, there's a UFO ending.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like we should save kind of ending stuff for later. Okay. But I mean, maybe we could talk a little bit about how this game plays. I think we might have a bit of a different perspective on this as well.
So it is like melee combat, a little soulsy, with an emphasis on kind of like parry timing.
Yeah. Well, so the thing I will say about there's also weapons durability. And there's no like, you don't have guns. It's rural Japan, right? There's no handguns. So it's all melee stuff. The thing I was going to say so you do have, I think actually sanity is a bad name for it. I might describe it more as like will or like willpower maybe. Because basically you can like, you have health bar, you have a stamina bar, and then you have like the sanity bar, which you can use to like some enemies drain with attacks. And then you can also use it to focus and deal like especially powerful attacks or like slow down enemies' parry timings. So like obviously you can get really good at identifying the parry timings and just like click them. But I do think the game is for the average player, the game is going to be more about managing the sanity meter and like using it to like spend and hit parries that way. Like it's a little less twitch and it's a little bit more about like resource management, right? At least that was kind of how I played it. I do think there was like you can kind of make your own Hinako build. Mm-hmm.
Because you also get like, you can also get like charms that kind of like Hollow Knight style, give you like these abilities and like buffs and stuff that depending on like what weapons you're using, like can buff those, or just like you can also do like basic things like give yourself more health.
Yeah, so like by the end, I had one that so there's also a thing where if you dodge at the right time, you get a perfect dodge and your stamina meter regenerates all the way. This is like an insane thing to be saying about a Silent Hill game. You could perfect dodge. And I had a charm that made those easier, and then another charm that let me counter on perfect dodges. So like act like I had a parry. And so it's like you can like, especially like, you get more slots for those charms as you do replays. And so you could basically like optimize in a way that you can't kind of earlier in the game when you have like fewer slots and stuff. Yeah, I think the basic thing for me with the combat is my first playthrough, I was really impressed with it. I was impressed with the way that like the differences between how you act and like how combat works in the real world and the other world, right, are so juicy and thematic, right? And I think even the kind of late game does some like fun stuff playing with like, you know, which Hinako is present for which boss battle at the end. And like you having to change the way you play and think because of like the Hinako you're embodying, like that's really interesting. I think that's really smart. I think like I think it's also just like an interesting way of like way more compelling than the way that like Silent Hill 2 Remake is like, what if we made Silent Hill 2 into Resident Evil Remake? And then this is like, what if we did something like, this isn't really like, people have compared it to Souls, right? You like mentioned the charm things kind of like Hollow Knight, but it's not really super like analog to like it's kind of like a piece of a bunch of like 3D action games in the way that Silent Hill was originally, right? But the thing is, it is a slog.
Yeah.
Like particularly late in the game, there's a bunch of like repeat encounters. There's not that many enemy variants. You essentially have like the same kinds of enemies that are, have different visual designs, but are shared between both worlds. Mm-hmm. And so like by the time you're playing the game for the third time and fighting those like pregnant enemies like 3 times in a row in the town, it's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And I think it also, in some ways, like because I did play through them on hard because I wanted to do the boss battles on hard, which I guess you can change the difficulty by just dying a few times, I suppose. But anyway.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, when you die enough times, it like flashes and is like, do you want to lower the difficulty? Or you could raise it, I guess, if you're... But yeah, so I think I think that is part of it. Like you do the story like thing is there if you want to like zip through the stuff. But I did kind of find that like the game still requires a lot of like combat out of you proportionally to like how much narrative content you're getting from. I don't like necessarily like phrasing it that way, but because basically like all the new stuff, not all the new stuff, you get new pickups and stuff, but especially like by playthrough 3, like the new stuff is concentrated in like the last fourth of the game.
Yeah.
And I think it just does feel like a tough like sell, even though I kind of get the vision. I think it's like there's like a better version of this, I think. Potentially like that does make you cycle through. But anyway, do you have thoughts on that? Responses, considerations?
Yeah, I did not like the combat that much. Like I appreciated what it was trying to do. For me, I just never got the hang of the parry timing, and I was a little bit confused on like when to use focus and when to not use it and like stuff like that. And I just never felt like I got a good handle on things. I did play on story for the most part, which the main difference with that is you don't like your sanity meter refills whenever you save. So that's like a system you don't really have to.
Well, also I think you can spend faith which is like the currency you use to level up at shrines to get health. Is that how it works, or is it you just heal at shrines also?
You heal at shrines.
Yeah.
Do you
Which is
not
also
heal
like,
at
yeah.
shrines by default? Wait, on Ard?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, that the first playthrough, I was like, this is tough. Like it took me, well, like, let me see. Okay, so on the Steam playtime, I have 41 hours listed.
Yeah.
And on the in-game playtime, it's like 22. And I don't know that it's like I died 20 times, because I think also there's something about like pause times. I don't know if there's something weird with the in-game clock, and I'm not sure what it is, but I do think that like I would be on a boss for an hour, like playing it over and over again, and it would count like the 5 minutes that it took for me to beat it, right? The like successful run only. So yeah, that is just to say the first run of this game was tough.
And the game like straight up tells you, like, if you're familiar with Silent Hill, play on story.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit weirdly phrased. I don't know. But it's like, how long did it take you to finish it, the first round?
About 10 hours.
Yeah, see, like, it took me like 20. I think they were like 18. So I do think that the original Silent Hill games, they're around 8 hours, you know? Right. But the combat's not especially like difficult in those games, I think, right? There's like the occasional moment that can be a little tricky, but
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I talking about?
You were playing on story, combat. Not really getting. I think part of it, yeah. I do think part of the reason maybe you didn't get a handle on it is just because it's like you spent less time doing it. which is not like, and maybe also like you're forced to engage with it less. But I think that also like, I can imagine that also made like the lighter parts like not necessarily more of a slog because it's like easier to get through, but it's also like there's nothing to this. I don't know. But I like hate the part where there's like you get blocked by the pregnancy monsters like 3 times.
Also, like it's part of like especially like part of the pitch of the game is like, especially towards the beginning is like, okay, like you do have the tools to fight these guys. You can also just not fight them.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
And then that gets thrown out by the end of the game.
Yeah, you do have these sections where it's like, yeah, I was, and part of it was, I was like finishing up my third playthrough just like a couple hours ago. And so I knew that I would finish it. I wouldn't say that I was like on a time crunch. Like I was like, I know I'm going to get through it, but I was a little bit like, okay, I gotta do this.
Dude, every time.
Yeah, well, and then it's also the true ending. It's like the 2 boss battles that are in the, that are in the other 2 endings, right? So it's like you don't even get new boss battles for like playing the game a 4th time, which is like I think that this is like the game is at an interesting like budget level because it feels simultaneously really expensive and also like, oh, they clearly did
very cheap at the same time. It's very strange.
Which I think is kind of fun. It's kind of cute with it. But
I didn't spend $70 on the game, so maybe if you did, maybe you'd feel a little bit different.
Right. I also did have some because I assume you played this on PS5, right?
No, I played it on PC because I didn't.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. You literally just said that, but yeah, because I got like generally I was getting like 40 frames per second, so it was running pretty well. But right. I would get like serious frame drops occasionally.
The drops in this game is kind of wild. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it was weird, like watching the UFO ending and the other ending that I didn't get on YouTube, like on the GameSpot thing, and I'm like, oh, it's running at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
Unfortunately, so I did switch my OS on my Republic of Gamers Ally. I switched to Bazite, and it runs a lot better on Bazite for some reason.
Oh, really?
So I could have had a, high graphics,
That's fascinating.
pretty high frame rate setup, but that's not what happened, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It's fine. One thing I was going to say about the combat is I've seen a lot of people like say like, save hard for like a second playthrough. And just do the first playthrough on story, because you'll get like all the new game plus stuff. You'll get like your abilities and stuff carried forward, and maybe hard is a little bit more manageable from there. But I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, I will say I was enjoying the game the most playing it on hard in the first playthrough. And I do think I think there's something, the thing that recurring structure does have going for it is there is something really satisfying about the like progressive like leap in your abilities per playthrough, which I think is also kind of thematic. Like it's also kind of about Hinako becoming more sure of herself.
Yeah.
Right. And present in herself. And so that like, so the thing of like being able to go through these, like the boss, like the first boss, which is the, I'm all of a sudden forgetting her name, but Saguko.
Yeah.
That took me like an hour, and it was like one try on my second playthrough, and that felt really good, right? It has that juice to it, and maybe you would lose that if you played it on story the first round, but it is also it's kind of hard. It is like legitimately tough. I can't imagine playing it on the higher difficulty. I feel like that would just be an exercise in humility,
lost in
humiliation.
The fog.
Yeah.
I don't even know what changes on that.
I don't know either if it's, it might just be like, oh, they take more hits, which would be the worst thing that you could do.
Let me see. I'm trying to find faster weapon deg. Oh God.
Okay, sure. I will say I didn't ever have. I never was like.
I never. Yeah.
Yeah, I never could. I never didn't have a weapon to hand. I think like I do like the weapon degradation. I think in the sense of like some of the really like the kitchen knife is like one of the best weapons in the game. And it degrades really fast.
Yes. Well, and I was going to bring that up too. Like there's a couple, like I don't love the combat, and that's whatever. The thing I do like about it is that it is, like you mentioned before, thematic in its construction. Like the kitchen knife being a fucking the unstoppable force.
Yes, yeah.
Because like in Hinako's mind, like that is a huge point of trauma for her.
Right, yeah.
And then likewise with
and it's like a focalization of violent energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then likewise with the dream Hinako was what I end up calling her.
I think that works. Yeah.
You mutilate your body very violently, but now you can ult. So
yeah, true.
Who can say whether it's good or bad?
Well, yeah, she also is like, I'm grateful for the arm that I was given, is like what she says every time. There's that beat like after you've completed all 3 rituals and Vox Mask is like sitting next to you and she's just kind of in like a daze.
Yeah.
and he's like, hey, there's not going to be any suffering after this. Like, everything is okay now. And she just like starts saying, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Is like, so I think, like, I was thinking about this, like, after finishing the game. I think something that I think is really cool, like, this is something that's in Silent Hill previously, but something that I think I really appreciated about this game is that it is kind of about these, like, ultra mundane hurts and like traumas, right? Like, these things that, people being mean to you at school, like you having a weird relationship with your friend because you both like have a crush on the same guy or are relating to the same guy in new ways, right? Like being forced into a marriage or being forced into like a situation because of like your family's financial situation, like having complicated feelings about your parents because like of how they've treated you or how they've like modeled relationships to you, and that you're terrified of like replicating and shaping whatever that will be, right? And like I feel like you do have the ending where Hinako kills a bunch of people, but it's like, at least in my read, none of this happens, right? It's all metaphorical, right? And so it's all of these kinds of huge, horrific things that are stand-ins for these like difficult, small conversations, like internal struggles, right? And that's again, I think that's in every Silent Hill essentially up to this point. But in most of them, like the stuff with the cult in 1 and 3, and like James's murder of Mary in 2, and then the serial killer in 4, there are these like big kind of dramatic hook points that are like big things. And like at the end of Silent Hill F, like if, kind of Hinako's reconciliation with herself is like she decides not to get married and her parents are okay with, like, there's sort of a mundanity to it, right? And I think the way that the game, I think that it's most effective probably in the first playthrough, like makes that stuff so horrifying and violent, right? Is just really cool. It's really emotionally impactful, I think, and felt.
And I think if there's anything I will give the combat credit for is that struggle to just fucking deal with an enemy. Like a single enemy.
Yeah.
In like the tight corridors in that first area.
Yeah.
Is really cool.
Yeah, no, I think that like, I just think it does, like, it just, for me, it trips into annoyance because you have to do it so much, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But I think it's like that for, again, most of the first playthrough, there were some times where I was annoyed, but like I was fully kind of locked in. And even these things where I was just complaining about like having to kill the pregnant monster, like for the, dozenth time, right? There was like, when I was playing it the first time, I was like, fuck, I don't have any healing items. And like, okay, I can rush in there and get this healing item. I had to like, do mind games, do equations in my head to like figure out how to navigate that stuff. And I think, yeah, like when it's firing, it has the juice, basically.
Yes.
Right. Is what I would say. I just think that it like simply does not have the room to like really kind of ground itself as design, and leans too heavy on like encounter numbers and like I don't know, things like that, right? But like the basics I think are really strong, and again there is this like, I think, thematic element that is really cool, like it feels like woven together. But yeah, but there's definitely like stuff that feels off or like annoying to me. Yeah, I don't know. I want to talk about so much shit.
Let's talk about ludonarrative dissonance for a second. Because the second time I played this game, I didn't meet the alternate ending requirements, but I also didn't take the pills. And I still got the pill.
Right. Oh. I was so terrified of like accidentally taking a pill. Or That's brutal. I'm sorry that happened to you. You know?
I mean, it was my fault. I didn't do enough research.
Yeah.
But
I have like a piece of paper here with all the ending requirements like written on it that has been here for like 3 weeks.
And it's all just like go into this corridor, do this quick puzzle, you know.
Yeah, pick up this item.
Yeah.
Purify or don't purify the sacred sword. Yeah.
And that's, I guess, like a narrative thing that I didn't really get super invested in, is all like the history of like the different religions and
which does also kind of like become forefront in the narrative eventually, but it's like most of the game is not really about that directly, right?
Yeah.
And even still, I do think it's still, again, I think it's still metaphorical, right? But yeah. But there's a lot. I mean, I think that's the thing is like, I'm also curious, like, I should have looked at the credits more closely, but like, I don't know how much Ryukishi 07 like is directly responsible for like all the writing in the game, or like what, I assume there were other people who worked on it. Right. But I would be curious about like what the like narrative design process looks like.
Well, dear listener, your humble podcast host played the first chapter of Higurashi.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, he had to have wrote that shit.
Yeah. All right. I mean, but it's, you know, someone was saying it's like Umineko is as long as In Search of Lost Time, and that's fucking crazy.
He is the only credited writer.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
I think. Wait. Oh God. Just give me. Okay, Silent Hill Memories. Give me the credits for this game.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going on Moby Games. See if I have better luck here.
Creators. Script writer.
Writer. Yeah, it just says writer and management.
I don't know what the fuck management means.
Yeah, who is being managed? I mean, I assume, you know, like, I assume it's like, you gotta, because it, obviously the narrative stuff, it's like you're working with the cinematic directors, you're working with the level designers,
that
right?
is
like,
also
it's all tied in
curious
together.
about, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other thing we haven't talked about yet is the cutscene direction in this game is incredible.
Oh, it's fucking elite. Yeah. Fucking, okay, you know that, you've seen the Key and Peele sketch with the movie hecklers, you know what I'm talking about?
You talk about this is like the only Key and Peele sketch you talk about.
It's very funny. I forgot that I mentioned it on a previous podcast. Fucking goddamn it. But just specifically the part where he's like, put some information up in the frame, bitch. That's me at like most cutscenes. In video games, you know, this has mise en scène, right? Like the characters are arranged in ways that communicate information about their relationships.
Yeah.
Right? There's like fucking blocking.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's awesome. Oh. Sorry, I was thinking about the shot when you're like getting married. Or is it when you're, because no, it's like, I don't know. There's like a billion times where you like go up to the altar with Fox Mask and you like drink something, or you like put something on the altar, or you like, because I think it's before. No, it is when you get married, I think, towards the end. But it's like you get the overhead shot of the like altar with like the bows of wood that you've both laid on it, and then the like color changes and the camera like swirls around and like floats down to the opposite angle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't have any specific examples because it's all good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like because it just has like there's that scene where at the very beginning when you first meet Shu at the candy store, right? And you sit with him and he like gives you the box of pills, right? And then Rinko shows up and you like get a shot of like, you know, Hinako on one side, Rinko standing up like a little bit away from the bench, and then Shu on the other. And it's just like, yeah, she's literally in between them. And that's such a like obvious and like thing, but it just, video games do not usually have an eye for that kind of storytelling. Right. And so like, it just feels like, I don't know. It just has, it works on that level. And obviously it's like matched by this like really evocative and like exciting art direction. Right.
The art direction is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Kara is the person who did the like
oh yeah.
monster design and character design. Just incredible work. Holy moly.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I think it's also like I also really appreciate that like everyone really looks normal. And they're obviously like modeled after real actors, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is like no one's like movie star looks, you know, they do look like teenagers, right? And that like, I don't know, it feels refreshing to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I wasn't. You go.
Well, I didn't have anything either, so we're at an impasse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to think of like other kind of camera stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't just want to be like, they're good, but they are good.
The beginning cutscene where you don't see like your sister's face.
Yeah.
And
oh my god.
All these like different shots with her like face out of frame and stuff. It's really cool. And
yeah, I also sorry, the blocking whenever you're having like the confrontation with your other self in the home, right? Like the way the two Hinakos like move around each other or like what's in between them, like so cool.
Yes, I also love that. There's one route that has that scene where Hinako like is talking about, you know, getting married and like falling in love. And she's talking about like, I know like this is like about the arranged marriage. Like she's just like, this is not what I imagined falling in love would be like. Like I do have feelings, but they aren't feelings that I like. Something is off here.
Yeah.
And that's like a POV shot, and it's like captivating.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some of those POV shots are crazy.
Yeah.
Too. Or there's that I think the one monster design that doesn't quite have the heat for me is like the big knife man represents your dad. He's got a big mouth. He's kind of goofy to me. He's kind of big and round. But that scene when you like have the boss battle with your parents in the home and he like transforms and it cuts to the shadow on the wall and there's like all the sort of vines growing on the wall as he like transforms and the knife gets larger and larger, right? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that is like, I don't know. I think it's also feels, I guess, yeah, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for some of these conversations about like thinking through, because it just feels so thoughtful. Yeah. And you don't really have like, I mean, I don't know if there was like a overall like director, there's a producer, project manager, but that's sort of the thing is there's not like a Hideo Kojima type guy, right? Which is fine. I mean, that's not a criticism.
And Konami has like placed all of that on Rikeshi 07.
Right, so, yeah, which it can't be true that he was not blocking the cutscenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at least I don't think so. Right?
The blocking,
and it's also
the fucking blocking when you exit Hineko's room, and the other Hineko is like staring at the wall. Oh my god, that's cinema. God, it's good.
It is good. On the like. I also just, like, this is not necessarily, like, directly related to the cinematography. And I think it's also, like, because obviously there's, like, a baseline level of body horror in relationship to, like, the enemy designs and, like, they're twisted, grotesque human forms. And they, like, relate to how Hinako is, like, thinking about herself and thinking about, like, the other women in her life and the men in her life, right? And, like, how to deal with that, right? But I think like all the self-mutilation, like self-harm stuff.
No, we gotta talk about that.
It's fucking gnarly. Like I remember like I came out watching like the ritual sequences, finished that sequence, and I went into my room and Emma just like wrapped up a meeting or something, and I was like, Silent Hill just got like intense. And she's like, oh, Silent Hill, like really? It got intense? And then I was like, no, you don't understand. Yeah. Like, let me explain what just happened, right?
It's shocking when it happens.
Yeah. I think it's also just like, there's a combination of a lot of things, because there's also like, she does it to herself, right? Like she cuts off her own arm.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously there's like a physical impossibility to that, which is also kind of like eerie and weird, you know? But there's just this like, I think it just kind of twists in your gut because it's such a horrific thing on like multiple levels. The way that she like volunteers almost, or is coerced into it. And then also the sense of like, I don't know. It just really is so affecting.
And this is where like the cutscene direction being really good fucking sucks. Because like especially the arm scene, I mean you're just sitting in it as it's cutting to like these different angles, and then there's that one angle where you just see like you don't like she's pretty much off screen except for her arm that is currently getting chopped off.
Yeah, fuck.
It's gross.
Yeah. And I think that is kind of like I saw not to like, well, I saw some criticism of this game that like the kind of feminism of it is generic or sort of like surface level. And I think, and I know that like there's some criticism that you could have about how it approaches certain issues. Like we'll get to that. But I do think that like that it doesn't matter to me. Like I guess you could kind of say that. I disagree. I think there are subtleties to it, but I think it also matters that like the emotional tenor of the game is at just such a high pitch, right? That like you feel Hineko's like the weight of what she's giving up, right?
Yeah.
In that moment, in such a visceral and intense way, right? That is important. I think that feeling is important. And I don't think like the feminist message need not be sophisticated, right? For it to have impact or like to be meaningful. I think that like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I just think that like, it matters how emotional it is, basically. Please continue.
I mean, and it works on multiple levels too, because it's not like like obviously like it is gruesome and like shocking and like it's also like kind of out of left field too. But there's that part of it, but it's also like It is the whole game. The whole game is a metaphor for losing your individuality when
Yeah.
you enter this agreement with someone. Um like the other Hinako doesn't have her family name.
Yes.
Um
Yeah. Hmm.
and that is like a huge part of it. And then, you know, it is a play on like, asking for someone's hand in marriage and like and just like giving up parts of yourself to this other person in order to, you know, complete this ceremony and like be wedded to someone. Um so there's that like metaphorical level too.
Hmm.
Um that I think just makes it sing. Uh
Yeah.
and I also think that like Silent Hill as a series, especially when we're talking about like the cult stuff, has always had torture involved, but we never see it on screen.
Yeah, it's true. No. And even
Um,
this does have like there are like torture rooms in the other world and stuff. There is like more abstracted
yeah.
stuff as well, but yeah.
So like, I think having you sit in the moment is very unique for Silent Hill. Um,
Hmm.
but like again, that is something that's again alluded to but never shown to you, and like the
Yeah.
effects, you see the effects of it, but like you know, this is so much a game about being embodying Hinako and like especially like through her journals and stuff, like being in her mind and like knowing what she is thinking, and so like
Yeah.
having to sit in those moments
Well, and then
you know
also, yeah. Well, but then it's also like you embody like both parts of her,
yeah
right? That there is like this duality that's like at the center of the thing, right? And so that there is this like conflict. Right? I don't. I feel like I lost my train a little bit there, but like there's just there are multiple shades to it. There's like you approach. She's a character that you have to. The game makes you approach her from multiple angles and from different directions,
yeah
right? And I think that like yeah, it's just impressive. Like that she does end up feeling, I think, very whole and very complex because like, and especially like I mean, again, this is where like I think the like recursive, not the recursive, but the repeating structure, playing the game multiple times has some juice. Is that kind of like, you know, each ending is a way emphasizes a different angle of her being, right? Until like she is reconciled to herself, right? Ultimately. But like that, yeah, it's just cool. And I think that that's like, I think the granularity of that also is it's like, it's not just about like, hey, what does marriage or what does like familial abuse mean to like women in general, right? Or even like women in 1960s Japan. It's like, what does it mean to Hinako?
yeah
Right. And that like the impact of that then makes it so like makes it really powerful, I think.
yeah I want to talk about, there's a lot I want to talk about,
Yeah,
but
there's
just
still
like
so much.
but just I want to quickly touch on like the voice acting in this game, which
Yeah.
is okay. So I'm sure the English dub people are lovely people, but man, there was nothing more like displeasing than the idea of playing this game with a dub.
Yeah, it's very weird. I mean, I kind of like, why would you play like Yakuza or like a dragon with a dub? What's like, why would you do that? Sure, people must do it because they do it. They put a dub in there, you know.
But the dub has such a, I mean, it just feels like an anime, and this is not
Yeah.
an this is not an anime. Well, until the ending, it's not an anime game.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is also like, well, I don't want to leap too far ahead of ourselves. But no, I think, the Toad is a mismatch. It's like, have you seen that video that's like anime voice acting Breaking Bad? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Tell this asshole if he wants to learn how to make my product, he's gotta do it my way. The right way! I speak English. So you understand what asshole means!
So it's not that bad, but
right. But you get the vibe, yeah.
The voice acting for Hinako is incredible.
Yeah, she's so awesome.
Yeah. I read a quote that was like the actor, like basically, and this is concerning. I don't think I don't think actors should be talking about how they went insane doing
a role.
But that's what she said. So,
well.
But it's really fucking good. I mean, the one I always think about, and it breaks my heart every time, and you have to hear it almost every time you play it, is the boss battle with the parents. And she's just like, Mom, Dad, why are you, like, why?
Yeah.
And the delivery on that is so heartbreaking.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then if you kill the mom first, her dad like yells your mom's name in a way that is also equally heartbreaking.
Oh my God, yeah. I think that like that the parent stuff in this game hit for me largely.
It did as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think because in the first playthrough, like the dad is just kind of a shadow, right? Like you mostly sort of get him as threatening. You don't, there's not like a ton of other stuff beats with him. But there is also like when she returns to the house to like kill them as bride Hinako, right? It's sad.
That cutscene.
Right?
When I played this game like 3 times, that was the one cutscene I did not skip.
Yeah.
It's so fucking, because like you get the mom talking about how beautiful you are now, which is crazy. Which is its own
kind of fucked. Yeah, fuck.
Then she like to the dad is like, look at your child, like look how gorgeous she is or whatever. And then your dad is just like crying, and just being like, this isn't your house anymore,
Yeah. Fuck.
Like, and is visibly upset that this is happening. And it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, oh man. Yeah, it's not quite,
because like it's also like for me, like especially in like the first couple of playthroughs, like you don't get much insight into what the dad is like other than like he is abusive and is like lashing out at the family and stuff like that. So that moment is like extra poignant, where he is like emotional and is very upset by the decisions that he is ultimately making, but to confront those consequences is something that he is upset about.
No, and I think it reminds me a little bit of that beat in Fire Walk with Me, like after the dining table scene where Leland is like chewing Laura out for not washing her hands, right? Yeah. Which is like this really distressing, like a clearly kind of abusive moment. And then they're both like in their bedrooms and he comes and like is crying and doesn't apologize actually, but just says, I love you. Yeah. Right. And that, I mean, that movie's really good, but like that moment of kind of like humanity and that like, that he knows, right? Mm-hmm. That what he did was wrong. And I think that there's, I don't know exactly how to put it together. But I think it's like, again, it's easy to kind of make this kind of guy into a monster. And like, there's some other stuff with this that we'll talk about. But like, I think that beat in particular is just so powerful because it is this moment of like, this system is hard on everybody and it creates problems for everyone, right? Things that like shouldn't exist, right? Ugh. Yeah, and I think the like relationship with Junko there is really poignant as well, because like, you know, from the way that Hinako like talks about and kind of relates to Junko like in some of the cutscenes, that there's this like deep love and affection there, but most of what you get is distance, and then at the end it's like outright hostility, where she's like, the other Hinako needs to die, the real Hinako needs to die so that bride Hinako can live, right? And that like
sorry, we need to talk about the journal.
yes, yeah.
Because like you get with Junko, you get like her face is like blotched out with ink. And that is like on its face. It's because like she, got married and, she doesn't see her anymore and stuff like that. And it's like very, and it works on that level. It's very evocative. But then like, it's also because she got fucking culted and she's a fucking demon lady.
Right. Yeah.
Like her face is just dead. It's nuts.
Oh yeah. I love that. Like because I think is it at Shu's house that you like encounter her?
Yeah.
For like the first time. And just like and then you get the shot. I think it's like from the back of her, like it's kind of a shot reverse shot thing. Right. Yeah. And you just see the like dead flesh like on the sides of the mask and stuff. Like, oh, it's so creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, the journal,
and I also think go ahead, sorry.
The journal and like the insights you get from Hinako's like thoughts on all the characters, and the way the like portraits change over time. Like you like in like when you kill your friends in the dream world, they're kind of their dead bodies overlay the original illustrations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that stuff's really cool. You also like on the map that you get drawings too as you like go from area to area.
Yeah.
And then like when you do the rituals, like it is very like romanticized.
You get the little hearts next to
next to the fox mask.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Hinako is like doing a surprise face at the arm, the
yes,
wolf arm.
Oh my god, yeah,
it's nuts. It's so good. It's so good.
Me when my boyfriend is love bombing me.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. No, well, and I think that's also like, I think it is because I feel like I've said to you before that like Halo should have never had actual writers writing it. Like it was so much better when it was like computer programmers writing Halo, right? And I don't actually know who like wrote the dialogue in those original games. Like I don't know what, maybe there is like a narrative design guy at Bungie who did a bunch of that stuff and they're just good because this marathon supposedly is really good narratively. So, IDK, but because I do think sometimes there is a thing where it's like I feel like being a professionally trained writer can work against you. Like, particularly if you're like have a background in film or TV and you're writing in games, it's just so different.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like it's just hard. And then also it's like fucking impossible when the project is like, you have to write stuff kind of after all the level design has been done. And like, okay, I have to figure out how to like string all this together and like make it work and like do all this stuff. Right. So obviously it's like, this is a game that is like designed from the ground up. The script and the art direction and the level design are like all working together. right? So that like, you know, you don't have these problems that like some AAA games can have where it's like there's these weird things, right? But also I think that like the fact that you know, Ryukishi has a visual novel background, there is like a literary element to like there is an interplay between the journal and the stuff that you find out in the world and the cutscenes and the things in game. And even like the fact that like Hinako talks to herself sometimes, but also you like click on an item and just get the caption, right? Yeah. That there's like these interplays between these various different kinds of things. And that's a, you know, in Dark Souls kind of has this too. And I think it's just a really good mode for a game to work in, right?
Yeah.
You know, that there is this feeling, and I think there's a complexity that builds out from the way all the like different pieces interact together. And I think that like in part comes from like the creative's background in writing something that's so text heavy, right? Yeah. And that also is kind of interlaced and like layered on top of itself, right? To be fair.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing I didn't really care for was that all the history stuff. But like anything to do with like the character interactions and like relationships between the characters, like all of that stuff in the journal is incredibly well done. It's great.
Well, I think like the most of the UFO ending is just the like Rinko, Tsukuko, and Shu and Hinako just like joking on each other and like making each other embarrassed, right? And that like works. Like it feels like, oh, there could be a slice of life manga that's about these four, right? Like you could take these characters and even some of these situations and like plant them in a very different context, and it works, right? And I think that like is a testament to how like how the game's character writing like interlocks together, right? And I think particularly like also that so much of it is like you find these notes in the other world that are like written by the other characters. And you know, when you get sometimes these very harsh things said about Hinako, and I think the thing there that like Hinako is trying to justify to herself the loss of these relationships, right? And then like, you know, maybe these feelings are real, right? Or reflect something real, but they're also like things that Hinako is emphasizing in order to like justify her loss, right? Like I think this was someone in this Discord server I mentioned earlier, but there's like the puzzle where you have to like get Shu's most prized possessions, and a bunch of them are like things making fun of Hinako. And it's like, again, it serves this function of like, oh, like Shu's most prized possessions are like stuff that makes me look bad, right? Or like ways that he was cruel to me like before we were friends. And like that is what defines him, and that's how I can like let go of my relationship with him, right? And I think that sort of, that's all subtext, right? None of that is said, right? It's all in this kind of interplay of like the level design and the text and the stuff. And I think just that like doing those kinds of doing those kinds of connections, I think it's really impactful.
I really liked all the Rinko stuff. Just her like kind of obsessing over Shu. But then also like getting mad at Hinako because like she is not, you know, reciprocating feelings for Shu, and she was like clearly just like stuck on this. And Rinko's eventually like, this is a cruel thing to do. Like, you need to do something like about this, because like Shu is not moving on from this, and I'm just like here, like, this is ridiculous.
No, it's sad. Well, I think that is the thing, is like Hinako is like kind of a jerk, right? Or she's like not, maybe the better thing to say, she's not like in a frame of mind where she's really thinking about other people because she's so torn up inside, right? There is this like difficulty between all those things. And I also think this is a dynamic that like one of my friends who knows a little bit more about like Japanese history was kind of talking about, that it's like there's like class dynamics between the three of them as well. Like I think it's especially like Tsukiko, who like manages the local shrine, and so like
the one thing we know about Tsuko is that she owes Hinako money.
Yes, that's right. That's true. But there's like the thing where she's like left behind. That's the like she's the only one who's not killed, right? She just gets abandoned, right? And like that, you know, anyway, that like has a dimension of like her position, her class position in relationship to the other characters, right? That she's like attached to this like ancient thing, right? That maybe is being left behind her. But, or also is like kind of, because there's all this stuff with the gods of like the tree god getting replaced with the fox god and like these kinds of like connections, right? That like spin out, you know?
Yeah. Damn, I did not think about the class thing with her. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got layers, man. It's got stuff. Oh.
It's so crazy that she fucking throws Rinko in the fucking lava.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, I also love, like, there's the thing where at first, like, Rinko's, like, nice to her. She's like, oh, you look so pretty right now. And then, like, towards the end, she's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, I was always prettier and cooler than you. Right? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I think
like,
that's...
It's also like, I was nice to you. Like, bro,
Yes,
like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Oh.
Shu likes you.
Yeah.
Why won't you just address it? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that conversation that Shu and Hinako have in the wedding ending.
Remind me what it was.
Oh, it's basically like as he shows up and is trying to break up the ceremony. I don't know. It's just basically like he like gave her the pills so that she wouldn't get married, right? Because they're like supposed to wake up like the latent part of her mind or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And which is like, yeah, incredibly fucked up thing to do. Right? Yeah. And so that they sort of like have like, you know, like Shu kind of accepts that this is where things are at, and that is like to Fox Mask, like, hey, you better treat her right. But there's just like a thing of like again, there is this moment of confrontation right in there. I'm
trying to think of other things before we talk about the juicy ending stuff. Yeah. Music is incredible.
Music is good. He's back.
They like, so there's like two main composers. Yamaoka did all the like real world stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I am going to fuck up this pronunciation. Kensuke
Inage? That would be my guess.
That sounds right. But he did like game music for Dynasty Warriors.
Oh shit, yeah, that's awesome. I do like the drum stuff in the other world is really cool.
So the thing that's impressive to me is like the Yamaoka stuff, like it does sound like him, but it also has its own identity.
Well, yeah, the stuff with like the children's choir and the song that plays at the beginning.
Yeah. Right.
This is really cool. Such a like different sound for him. I guess that is like a rock music staple in a certain sense, but
yeah. But it has echoes of the original Silent Hill theme while also not being that. I think it's really cool.
No, I agree.
And then all of the like ritual music in the other world is haunting.
Yeah.
The like high pitched noises as awful things are happening to Hinako.
Yeah. Well, I was also thinking about like this is like sound design stuff rather than soundtrack stuff, but like the like weird throat vocalization that the bride Hinako has.
Yeah.
Where it like sort of like a little thing, and I don't know, man. That like something so sad about that to me. Guy's creepy. That design got like scarier and scarier to me over each playthrough.
Yeah.
It's scary when her face falls off. That is scary to me.
I just love how seamlessly this game just merges like body horror with the thematic context of the game, because it is about losing yourself, and like the example of that is like her face coming off, and there's like there's her individuality is gone, it's so cool.
Well, and there's also like you get that photograph. I think this is in the beginning of the second playthrough where you see the photograph of her sister in the bridal gown. Maybe this is in both actually, in the first playthrough as well. But just that, that it's like she's become her, right? And they're the same now. Is like, I don't know. It's just kind of scary. Yeah, it's sad.
I like the juxtaposition between like monster Hinako in the fog and stuff. Like the switching back and forth, like when you're like playing as her, like you are like seeing her as like the just like a human person,
right? Yeah.
But then like when you're seeing it like externally, she's just like this different like monster. It's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Well, it's like I think that like there is like, I don't know, there's sort of a delusion of continuity of self almost, right?
Yeah.
That's like kind of like, no, I'm still myself. I'm still this, right? But like no one else sees you that way.
Yeah.
There's that part in the like ending where Shu shows up and you both like run away, and you like fight the fox mask. He's like the boss battle, and where he's like, oh, like eventually like the missing posters will just disappear and no one will remember you except as like a girl who ran away, right?
Yeah.
I think that is, I mean, it's just an interesting dimension of the thing that there's like this kind of community element, that it is like a story about like her relationship to the town as much as it's a story about her relationship to like any of the other characters, right? And then it's also like, I mean, this is what I wrote my piece for Endless Mode about, is that it's like the town in this is where she's from, and like that's technically true in Silent Hill 3, but like not really in the same way, right? Like this is the place she's been and lived in her entire life, and that then like it transforms, and that like it just has a very different kind of tenor to it than like I'm like thrown into this roadside horror world, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's time.
Okay. So I don't know. Do you want to start? And I can does prosecution or defense start in court?
Okay. Let's set it up. There's 3 other main endings to the game. one where you get married to Fox Mask, one where what happened? Sorry, what happened?
The one where you don't get married to Fox
the
Mask.
one you like run away with Shu, right? Or
yes, yeah.
Okay. And then the true ending, like we talked about, where you put everything on hold, stop the presses, let's talk things out between me and me, like it's the end of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I love the Fox wedding ending. I think Shu confronting him and then them tentatively agreeing to being friendly is like really goofy and fun.
It's good. Yeah, I like it.
And then my favorite personal favorite scene in the game is that post-credit stinger where you just see like a blood trail on the ground. And then you hear Hinako yelling, "I don't want to be like my mom." And then it finally pans down and it's just her like a dislocated face like on the ground as she's screaming this, and then a foot comes down and stomps on it.
Yeah. Oh god.
Fucking sick as hell.
Yeah, it is very good.
I was like ecstatic when I
No,
saw
well,
that.
it's so like it's also just this like because you get this moment of reconciliation that's like kind of sweet and like and Fox Mask like also who now has kind of become like one of the characters like in the ensemble, right, who has like an identity beyond like wearing the mask, right, being like, oh, it's a beautiful day for a wedding or what, I don't remember the exact line, right. And so there is this feeling of like, I don't, obviously everything, all this fucked up shit has happened. And like Hinako just killed her alternate self. Right. It's like not, I don't want to be like, oh, it's resolved, but there is this like feeling of resolution. And then that's like immediately undercut by this like horrifying and like strange, surreal violence, right? Yeah, it's really cool. Right. And that makes all that like, it's like, oh, we're going to be friends and like, we're going to try to make things work. And it's like, fuck, you can't do that. Like, it's like, there's this whole other thing that is not being addressed. Right.
Yeah. It's great. Also, the character model for the foot is literally Fox Mask.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't matter, but again, with like framing and like, them like placing the character models in specific locations, and then the camera is a whole separate entity removed from that. It's great.
Yeah, totally.
The Shu ending I thought was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, I think it's a little weirdly written in general.
I think, and I'm going back and forth on this now that I'm thinking about it, because Shu is such a dumbass.
That's true.
That him going up to the Fox and being like, "Hey,
we're comrades now.
I remember when you were a fox that one time. We're UFO brothers, brother." It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, real. Oh my god. No, it's a little silly.
And then
and I think it is also obviously Yeah. I think it would be so weird to do that second. Like that feels like such a weird one to do. It does feel like the progression that I did, which is like default bad true, is like the way to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You also get Fox Max turns into a fox, and he's just like, I'm just a fox who's spiriting you away or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you saw this, but like in the beginning of the other playthrough after this one, you get those like ladies who gossip in the window.
Oh yeah.
You're like, and one of them just goes, I heard it's a fox that's spiriting her away.
Real. Wow.
Just like, all right,
That's awesome.
Spiriting away is also used in Higurashi as, a way to talk about possession. So
right, which is also like fox possession comes up in some of the like document stuff.
So
which is interesting.
I really like the play on that phrase. I think that's really cool. But I also think it's super corny. Especially when she was like, "Hey, bro, I remember when you were a little baby fox on the playground."
Oh, right, because there's that little flashback. That's right, I forgot about that. Yeah. Wow. So the true ending. Okay, I will say it is a little bit Final Fantasy 16 when you get the like pan up to like the two gods growling at each other in the clouds.
Oh my god.
I do like the part where like the fox ancestor is like using Foxmass's voice to talk, and they're like lip syncing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool to me. I thought that was neat. It's also, it's so like, I don't know. It's very hype moments in Aura, which is like not what I would have expected.
Let's back up to like the parent stuff, because that's when we
get
like,
yes.
That's when we get like right. the like all of the stuff around.
No,
like,
you're so right.
Her mom like having this disease, and then that's partly why we're doing this arranged marriage so we can pay for her treatment and all this stuff. And then the mom talks about like her having this relationship with her dad, and she's talking about how like he was a good husband to her and all this, but she's also talking about like them having fights about the way they're treating Hinako, the way that like the mom would like get back at her dad by like fucking up the cooking or something like that. I forget
but like the like wringing dirty rags into his tea was fucking awesome. Ladies, if you have a husband, here's one neat trick to get him to apologize to you.
And then she basically like forces him to apologize to Hinako. And the scene we get where it's the two Hinakos talking to each other, her dad comes in and has like this monologue about he's apologizing to her and also talking about like, I thought this was the right thing to do. I thought this was what a man is supposed to do, is be this person who, like, to be feared is to be the man of the household, right?
Yeah.
I found that to be super affecting.
No, the part where he says like I want to free you of my curse. Right? Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's something so... Because also this sort of like... I don't know exactly what it... Maybe... I don't know. I was like thinking about this a lot. Like, I took a little walk and I was like thinking a lot about like my relationship with my parents. And I was like, I can't talk about that on the podcast. But like, there's just that thing of like... the recognition that like he can ask for nothing, right? He has no right to ask for anything. I think that's really powerful. That hits for me. And there is still the like, because Hinako is like, he's family. You got to listen to him, which didn't hit for me. I didn't love that. Yeah. But I think the thing of like, there is like a healing process that occurs through hearing him out that does not equal like forgiveness.
Yes.
Right. I think that's such a like, yeah, it's really cool. It's very moving.
Yeah. I really like the line of like, I don't forgive you, but I understand you now.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's such a huge,
and that's when like he disappears and the flashback ends. I really like that.
Yeah. What do you think about like the thing after that in the boss battle where she's like, you can't make me think about my parents this way?
I think it's neat to like have her realize that like this isn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
I think it is like, I think something that repeat playthroughs do struggle a little bit with in kind of the back forth that does have a bunch of different stuff is it's like a bunch of new context is happening, but everything sort of still feels formatted around that first playthrough to some degree. Right. Yeah. And so I think some of those beats like feel a little tricky, but there are these also nice moments that work with that. Yeah. So
also, man, they're really, and I'm talking about the first 2/3 of the game. We're really stretching the definition of what a new cutscene is. Like, her, like Rinko pushing her down the stairs, and the only thing that's different is that there's like red stuff on the stairs. Shut the fuck up! Get out of my face with this. Are you kidding me?
The first like few new cutscenes, I was like, I don't. Like there's like I think there's a frame at the end that's new or like a one shot that's new.
Yeah. Like she like running in and going, here I go.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I hate that shit. It sucks.
Oh, it's really funny. Oh my god. Oh, wow.
And I think this is and sorry, I'm just going to go on a tangent on.
No, please go on.
We're here.
Yeah, we're almost 2 hours in. It's
my frustration with the format of the game. I think Rikeshi07 is so good at setting up these characters, setting up these themes, and then building that tension through horror, and associating that with very vivid imagery and ideas. I think he's really good at that shit. That this is also true with Higurashi. I think he's really good at building tension within what I've read as well. And it's fucking sick. He's great at that. The part where you have to like replay the game, and there's like a different context for like all the what they're arguing about at the beginning, and like all of the lines are like slightly different, but you know, the doll is saying something antagonistic instead of whatever.
Right.
I think that's just fucking lame. I think it's so dumb. And you don't need it in this.
Yeah.
I would just prefer you told me that this is a game about an arranged marriage up front instead of like hiding the argument in the second playthrough. What is the point?
Right.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I disagree. I guess I do think that like I wonder if I had played played the first playthrough over like a week and then paused a week and then played, because I did like have breaks in it because also my life has been kind of crazy lately. But I was playing it essentially like continuously, right? Or like the big gaps were also like in the middle of my first playthrough essentially, right? And so I kind of wonder like what maybe it would have hit a little bit different for me if I'd played it over like a month and a half with like week breaks in between each playthrough, right?
I guess, but like the changes are so minor that I don't think I would notice.
Yeah, because I had a hard time. I had a hard time remembering like, oh, was that different? I think this bit of dialogue is different, but I don't quite. Yeah, so maybe. I think conceptually it's cool, I guess, but I think you're right that like it is hard to like notice it or work. And also I did watch, like my second playthrough, I did watch most of the cutscenes again. Because I just wanted to like absorb it. And that was part of like why playthrough 3 went by so fast, was I was just like,
Yeah.
you know, I could skip every cutscene in the first like 3/4 of the game, basically.
Yeah.
So
I do appreciate that, like, they don't make you do the school again. You just get the fucking key, you get out of there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Do we want to finish talking about true ending?
Yes, because my other structural criticism can go here. But
Yes, please.
you go ahead and talk about what the ending is first.
Well, yeah. So basically, real Hinako, you know, shows up in the dream to try and stop the wedding from happening like usual, but this time she's like, hey, I think something else is like pitting us against each other. There's like a force that's trying to make me get married, and there's a force that's trying to prevent the wedding. And like, you know, the collision of that results in like the default ending. Right. And then like the other Hinako shows up, is like, I thought I killed you. And she's like, no, we need to have a conversation. And then they like start choking each other, and like the voices of these gods start playing through their lips. And I kind of forget like the exact order of events, but basically like Wolf Hinako has to fight the like tree god that overtook Shu in that ending, and then regular Hinako is fighting like the wolf. No, it's the other way around. I'm sorry. Wolf Hinako fights Fox. Hinako fights Fox. Regular Hinako fights Tree. And you get it basically like intercuts the boss battle. So like you get through a phase of one boss battle as Fox Hinako, and then it like plays the other phase. It's kind of Kingdom Heartsy, actually.
Yeah.
And essentially, like, through this process, like, she becomes, like, reconciled to the two sides of herself, and, like, has a conversation with, like, the Fox Mask about, like, I know that you, like, care about me, but we need to, like, not get married. We need to like figure out what we want and like think about this in a deeper way before we can like have a wedding. And like he embraces them both. And then like the final bit of the ending is like both of them, Fox Hinako now has like her full face back and like no brand on her back, but she does still have the wolf arm, and they're just the fox arm, and they're like walking around their hometown. Like they get a letter from him that's like kind of sweet about like him integrating his doing inner child work in therapy, basically. And then they're like hanging out, and that's basically it. Like you get actually, I'm sorry. There's a part where she kind of like wakes up and is just like before the town, like all by herself. And then it cuts to credits, and then you get sort of a post-credit scene of them together. And essentially the suggestion is like, she now has a freedom to like live in the way that she wants to live. Whatever that means. And like, that includes both parts of herself. Was that a fair summary? Is there something that I missed?
No.
There that. Okay. So, well, yeah. What are your objections to this?
Okay. Here's my problem.
To this ending.
They're all Fox Mask related.
Yeah.
Because like the idea of her, like, you know, talking to her shadow self, like I expected that. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. There's a part, and this is what I really hate, is the exposition as you're fighting the boss. I fucking hate it. And I hate almost Dark Hinako. It's like talking about like, oh, like at first I didn't care about him, and then I realized that he the love he has for me is genuine, and he also has had to make decisions about his life in this situation. When did that happen in the fucking video game that I played?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially because this game has a journal, and you know what happens in the journal? You go from Hinako talking about post torture being like, this is what love means to me in a very ominous way, and then you flip the page and she's like, oh yeah, he likes me, and and he's also had to think about this. It's like, what is happening? When did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much character work in this game. It is such a clear blind spot, and I don't understand it. And just him, because he's framed, especially in those torture scenes, as being complicit in this violence, right? Like literally he is holding her hand as they're cutting her face off. And I think the part of the problem for me is like doing the multiple playthroughs, like they don't make you sit through like all the torture stuff, which is like fine, but like it also just like softens that whole situation, where like you're not confronted by the violence of the thing anymore, and that coupled with like no additional character work as to how Hinako came to this conclusion other than that she was basically brainwashed into it, I think sucks. And I just think it takes away from a lot of what this game was doing. And I think like I understand the narrative desire to, give agency to Fox Guy. But the way it was handled here, I just did not land with me at all. And then focusing on him as like he's talking about like doing the work with the kids and stuff like that, I just felt I didn't need that stuff at all, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth because the whole game is him being the villain of this game, and it was just really jarring just to have that shift. And I don't think it earns it at all.
I do kind of think, I do think it's cute seeing the two Hinakos like chum it up, but I do kind of think like the final shot of the game could just be Hinako alone on the hill. Would be,
I just don't know like, because by that point I'm so confused on what the distinction is at that point,
right? Mm-hmm.
Because again, I don't know how Dark Hinako is in the emotional space that she's in now, especially because like they make a point in that scene where they use the vine boom where they put the wedding rings in,
where the door opens. I do that always too. I'm like, sorry,
but they're making a point.
The way that you said that, and I like instantly knew what scene you were talking about. It's so funny.
I commented on a video. I like found a Let's Play that had all the alternate endings in it, and I found the timestamp for that specific cutscene, and I just like commented, "Stop being wretched." Anyway, but they make it a point to have two different cutscenes for that scene where like they're supposed to swap rings and then put them into the little contraption. And in that ending, like the version that plays in the true ending is her putting the wedding ring in the thing and having it not work, and then realizing that she has to swap it with the Fox Mask ring, which I read as like her at this point going through the motions, really just wanting to get this over with and not necessarily thinking about his role in this.
Right, sure. Point.
And so I'm confused as to like what led to her coming to the conclusion that she does, and it just makes the Hinako talking to herself more confusing for me.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me, and I think that there is like again, like you get so much stuff that feels really rich and subtextual about like her relationship with Shu and like her childhood friends and like even with her parents, right? And this is the relationship that feels the most kind of bare and metaphorical, that then like suddenly kind of gets put in this more fleshed out state. I think the thing that does indicate this is that she does seem to have this desire to go through with it and like determination to like kill herself. Right, or kill that part of herself in order to do it. But the thing is there's also all this stuff around like the finances of her parents and like, you know, the situation that she's in. Like it's clearly coercive, right?
But there's also also the scene where she's describing like this relationship not feeling right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
and I also we don't know what is like compelling her to go through with all of this. Especially like the scene where she's saying it hurts, and then Fox guy uses the voice of like the god to like calm her down. So like
that's, I think so. I guess here is my I think, because okay, there are like two big feelings I have about this. One is that I do think that like the ending is deflating. And I think part of it is that like the anguish and terror of that first playthrough, and particularly like the torture moment, is just such an emotional high of the game that like it does match or like keep up with in a couple other moments. And so, but when it just moves into this more positive place, like for whatever reason, it just can't carry that emotional impact with it. Right. Like, I didn't feel like anything in this like bugged me exactly or felt like out of place for me, but I did feel like, oh, I'm not like emotionally attached to this in the way that I was like very much in the first two playthroughs, I would say, right? So I think that's one thing. The other thing I will say about like Fox Mask in particular is I think to me, specifically in relationship to the torture, like it is metaphorical, and it also relates to me the idea that like it doesn't matter if the guy you're getting an arranged wedding with is like a good guy who will take care of you. Right? Like it's still violent. Right? Like it still sucks. Right? It's still terrible. And I think that that's kind of the way that this, and maybe this is just because like of my background and like seeing so many people like get married young as a Mormon, and that being like, and me even getting married pretty young. I don't want to get too much into my own baggage, but like I think that there's something that rings kind of true to me about like the end of this, that it's like Fox Mask can be a guy who like wants the best for this person and is sincerely wanting that, and is also hurting her in this extreme and terrible way. Right? Like both those things can exist at once. And I think like the ending of the game is his realization of like what that means and what he's doing, and like accepting that if he really cares about her, he has to care about all of her. Right. And I think the execution of that is a little off. Right. But I don't necessarily like object to kind of the kind of base core of that thematic thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just have a hard time.
Yeah.
I have a hard time just like because he's portrayed so, I mean, he's a fucking creep.
He's so menacing. Yeah, he's so scary.
There's so many shots where like it's him in the mask and there's ominous music in the background.
Yeah.
So when that shift in narrative happens, I'm just like, okay, all right.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. Yeah, to be clear. Like I don't think that like, I think it's a valid criticism, right? But I think I just have like a little bit of a different angle on it.
There is something else. Yeah. It'll come back. I think that like, it's gone.
Oh, no worries. Oh, too bad. Yeah, well, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think that's like, because yeah, I guess I didn't have the feeling of like, oh, like that earlier stuff in the game has less impact because this is the way that it worked out, right?
Right.
I think there is a thematic wholeness to it that I do appreciate. And I kind of don't like, one of the things I did find really affecting that I wanted to bring up earlier, but kind of didn't want to get ahead of this conversation, is like the journal entries about Junko later, where she's like, maybe we both can like accept that this is what is going, that like she's going to be married and have this life and I'm going to have my life. Mm-hmm. And we both have to like live with that. And I think that that's like also just such a real, just think about like relationships with people in my life who have like, siblings who were still in the church, who are married and have kids, right? And it's like complicated, but also like you love them and you care about them and you care about like the well-being of that family, right? And just, yeah, I think that that's such a real, like, there is this, all of us like exist in these systems and we all have to like make compromises to make our way through them. And that is like really sad, right? And not always even necessarily good, but we have to like figure out a way to do that. And I think like the stuff with Junko like hits on that level for me.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it is really sad. Like when you get the flashbacks with Junko, like you realize that she's the only person in her life who is able to understand or just like work through their differences and like actually encourage her to live the life that she wants to, or at least like understand it and like empathize with it. And then that is just like, that is completely gone when she gets married. And there's there's no like voice of affirmation or just like no discussion around the differences that she has as a person.
Well, yeah, and that's also like the approach of like there's the thing in the journal that I'm like looking at on Silent Hill Memories is like, he promised me everything I could ever want to be content, a life full of comfort, status, endless love, right? And it's like, you already have everything. Like, what do you need? Right? What do you have to desire? And that like is so limiting, right? Mm-hmm. There's no forward momentum there, right? And like, that there's like this total absence of like people listening to her. Yeah, like you're saying. It is just,
one thing I want to say also,
mm-hmm.
And I did mention it earlier. I just want to say it again. Okay, two things. One, why are we doing like Elden Ring and bosses in this game? I hate it.
Yeah, the Elden Beast. Yeah, I don't know.
And I was talking to Jackson about this game because I watched a playthrough of it, and they did tweet this out. So I do not feel bad about repeating it here. But just the tone of the ending and just like characters yelling what they're feeling at the boss. I don't like. Jackson compares it, brings up other Silent Hill games, and it's like if Angela was going, in the stairway scene, if she's like, it never leaves. I carry it with me wherever I go. It takes the form of fire.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, I don't. But like, Silent Hill 2 is still a game where James like beats his like wife's deathbed to death with a crowbar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but like,
right? Like,
no. But like, you don't have to play the game 3 times to realize the significance of the fucking videotape.
Yeah. That is true. That is a point I will not argue with you
from
on.
frame one. You know that motherfucker killed his wife. Like,
Yeah,
it's like, and there's no like if Silent Hill 2 like has multiple endings, but they're all pretty similar to this, like different ways of him processing this situation.
Yeah. Well, and it is also like it. Yeah, it is different in that I don't think there's like, you know, there's endings that I guess I prefer or that I think are more fitting or that I find resonant in Silent Hill 2, but it's like you can get any of them and it is a legitimate, like it is complete, right? In a way that I do think you gotta kind of see a couple endings of this to like get the full picture of like what's going on thematically, right?
Yeah, but in a game, especially because we've talked about like this game can and does have the juice to like do subtext well, do environmental storytelling well, to just like have the ending. And I guess I don't know what else you would do, to be fair. Because they're making an action game, and and I guess maybe it's just like in a lack of imagination, because a $70 video game is a $70 video game, that you need to have this like big bombastic conclusion to the game. But like it just, I was so checked out by the time this happened that I just it was really a disappointment.
The thing I will say is that like I do think, I mean, again, I kind of like some of the stuff thematically this ending is doing. I also think it would be like legitimate to have the ending of the game just be she gets married and it sucks, right?
That's what, like, that is my ideal version of the game, is just the Fox ending.
Yeah.
and then and then the stomp on the head, and that's like a perfect ending to me.
Yeah. And I think that is like, I think because I do think this is also like, Silent Hill games don't tend to end bleakly, generally speaking, right? There is like the suicide ending in Silent Hill 2, but it's like at the end of Silent Hill 2, like James comes to like a recognition of what he has done, and like there is the process of that game is some level a process of like atonement, right? And then like 1 and 3, you know, there's like pessimistic endings to Silent Hill 3, but you can't get it the first time round, right? Like I do think that like it's rare that the games are like intended to end badly. And so I don't know. Maybe that's just like, again, like running into video game blockbuster form. But I do think, like I would be interested in a version of the game that is just willing to be pessimistic. And I don't think that would be like a bad route to take it. But you know, I also think it's sweet that she becomes reconciled to herself and like realizes like, you know, that she does come to like these big personal realizations. I think that's like, it does hit for me still.
I think you said this earlier, but I think you're right about it not hitting the emotional intensity as it does in those moments of horror than it does in like this like a good ending scenario, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's like you know, to be clear, it's like, I don't know what you do. I think it's hard. I don't know how you match that, you know, but yeah. And
I think there's the difference between like me enjoying and finding satisfying like the dad ending. The monologue that the dad gives to Hinako hitting for me versus the stuff with the ending is like, the dad isn't yelling at me while I'm fighting him, you know, that is a separate scene that's happening, and there's like space given to that, as opposed to, you know, Hinako yelling at that you know, she likes the fox mask guy while killing this god.
Defeat the gods, right?
Yeah.
It's the little tooltip.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was a little that was like I was, and I know that this is also hype moments and aura is part of the Ryukishi brand, I think. Right. But I was a little like, wow, okay, yeah, sure. But I guess I will say that like I don't think this really is a game about like killing gods and defying fate. Like it isn't that incidentally in the way that it's about gender and being a person, with
I guess, but it is also about that. Like,
yeah, but like, I don't know.
You gotta read a bunch of historical bullshit to get to this point.
Yeah.
I think like the amount that they want you to buy into it, it's hard for me to hand wave it away in that way. Because they want you to be invested in these two religions that are encompassing this town.
Yeah, but that's because the religions like structure the folk culture of the town.
Yeah. Right?
Like it is about like, and it's like they get married in like a Shinto wedding. Like I think it is directly connected to like this other thematic stuff. And like I agree it doesn't like hit right emotionally, but like there is a thread going on there that's more than just like, lol, I'm killing God. Right?
Yeah. Sure. But you are killing God.
No, I don't just, I'm just saying that there's more going on.
Yeah. What else is
we talked a little bit about the UFO ending. Do you want to?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay.
I started watching it. I started watching it. It was way too long. I was like, okay.
It is kind of long. It's cute though. I thought it was sweet. And it has a good like ending theme. It's very like synthy and fun.
Okay, I'll check it out after this.
You should.
I do like that they give you a lightsaber after it though.
Oh, they do? What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's cute. Space Wars. All right. Well, shall we answer questions?
Sure.
Or...
I do feel like Shu's entire personality is him being Space Wars guy is so funny.
Yeah. I love that he always calls Hideko partner. I think that's so cute.
This isn't a criticism, but I do think that Hinako talking about like being like a tomboy, but prefacing it with like, but I have no problems being born a woman. However, comma, I was just like, all right, we're just trying to sidestep the trans reading immediately. Like prefacing it is just really funny to me.
I mean, the thing is, women got problems with being a woman. Every woman I know got issues with it. It's what it is.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
But no, it is funny. I agree. I'm with you.
It's so funny, especially when she's just like, the boys don't think I'm one of the boys and the girls don't think I'm one of the girls. What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We got a lot of emails, so let's fucking power through it.
Yeah.
Okay. First
email. Welcome back, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, better and more fruitful conversation than fucking Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah.
Anyway, emails, saferoompodcast@gmail.com or questions@spookygame.club is the email address. First one is from Emerus. Does making this part of the Silent Hill franchise add anything other than name recognition to the game? Yes and no. We also got a similar question, I think, from Jen, which I don't know why I didn't pull it in my document. Let me just pull that up right now. What is going on? Oh, because Gmail thinks it's a promotion.
God, why does this keep happening?
It's in the promotion.
What the fuck is wrong with Gmail? Jesus Christ.
Oh, and then Moss sent in a question too that I didn't see, and it's in the promotion email.
Fuck off!
I hate Gmail. It sucks.
Jesus Christ.
Jen, and this is closely, I'll just tie this to, but Jen says, I've seen some back and forth online whether this actually resembles a Silent Hill game or if it's just a great horror game that happens to be called Silent Hill. How Silent Hill does this game feel to you is important to, is it really so important for a video game to exemplify previous entries in the series rather than charting its own course? My thoughts on this is, I think if this is the attitude that you have with the game, is that it's completely different, you are just telling me that you're racist.
Yeah. Okay, so I 100% agree with that. I also think that it is like, here's the thing. People have been like, I just want another Silent Hill like Silent Hill 2. I want another Silent Hill that's like rooted in psychological themes. And then it's about like a particular character like dealing with their traumas and whatever. And then they get that and they're like, but it's not enough like Silent Hill. Shut the fuck up.
I genuinely think because the cultural signifiers are completely different, that people genuinely can't comprehend that it's literally the same thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think the Rock Paper Shotgun review of it was like, it feels kind of Thing Japan to me, and like links to the TV Tropes page. And it's like, this is just a game about Japan, bro. Like, this is just like, it's a game by Japanese people. And like, literally his most famous previous work is a game about like growing up in rural Japan and like folk magic shit, right? Like, it's all, anyway. It is insane to me to suggest that this game is weird about being set in Japan. That's bonkers to say.
Yeah.
And then also it's like, I think that, I mean, again, like, it's a coming of age story like Silent Hill 3, right?
Yeah.
It's really concerned with, I mean, this is what the thing I wrote up for Endless Mode about, was about home and about like the way previous games relate to home and how like Silent Hill F slots into that. So it has like that resemblance. It's also a game that is like, you know, has enemies and visual design that like directly relates to like the interior like mind state of the character and what they're thinking and going through and how that like reflects in the environment, right? And like those things to me are like way more important signifiers of it being Silent Hill than like it actually being set in Virginia or wherever it's supposed to be, right? Like, I think in the ways that it counts, it is a Silent Hill game. And also, I mean, the other thing is that it doesn't really matter. Like, who cares, right? Like, it doesn't, you know. But I think the thing is that this game wouldn't be made if it wouldn't be, you know, and I think it wouldn't be this if it wasn't a Silent Hill game, right?
Yeah.
The construction of it is somewhat dependent on it being related to the franchise, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can be like the game. You could just take this and brand it something different, and it would exist. I think it is contingent on it being related to the previous games. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's also like, I am like still hung, like, it is a psychological horror game that's got hella fog, that is centered around an evil religious cult.
Yes, the cult shit too. Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Is it just because there's temples you don't think it's not a religious cult? But that's what it is.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous to me. I don't even like the cult stuff in Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm the one who likes the cult stuff.
Yeah, truly maddening to me that people would say this isn't Silent. The only thing I would give credence to is, like, again, we've talked about, like, no other Silent Hill game has these like character relation stuff. And I can see someone being, the high school relationship stuff doesn't hit for them, or they're not interested in that. And like that I understand, but like everything else, you're crazy. Everything else, you're crazy and racist.
Yeah, and just to be like 100% clear, perfectly fair question to ask us, and we're not like putting you in the boat with these other people, but just like,
no, it's the
I do think it is
right-wing gamers I'm mad at.
yes, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Anyway, this is from Moss because
Jesus Christ.
Okay, with the game having themes in regards to the cult, how do you think? How do you think it would have gone down if Shinzo Abe was there? Why does the protagonist not have a doohickey as an unlockable weapon?
Well, so I think Shinzo Abe would be like, point at the pregnancy monster and be like, this is what women should be. This is what the true form looks like.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is good, actually.
Yeah, right. This is everything is as it should be. We can just move on.
Oh,
it's all good.
It came back to me.
Shit.
The fact that the men don't have to do the stupid face-off ritual is nuts. What, what a crazy thing. He just takes off the mask and you see his face. Nuts. Incredible bit of world building and just like makes that whole dynamic sing for me of just like the double standards of this.
Totally.
Really, really good shit.
No, and the game is full of so many of those kinds of touches. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. This next one is from Liv, who says, looking forward to the pod. Rack my brain coming up with a question. How do you feel about Silent Hill F's presentation of its reality? The narrative seems to imply that these events aren't happening in a one-to-one literal matter, but rather as a kind of porous mind palace for Hinako that other people occasionally interact with. Do you agree with this interpretation? And what do you think about this presentation in regards to the Silent Hill franchise as a whole?
I mean, yeah, I essentially agree with that. I think I'm trying to think of like things in the game that I think literally occurred. Most of the letters, like the documents you find, maybe like the very opening bit where she like walks down to the store and talks with Tsukuko and Shu. I think that's about it. Maybe.
I will say, I think for me, my mind struggles to not take it literally. Because there's no moment where they pull back and show you the actual
there isn't
reality of the situation.
Yeah,
so in my mind, Sakuko is she got impaled by those things and she's dead.
Yeah, I don't think she is dead though. I think she's
but I don't see she must be dead. I don't see any other characters after you kill them in the dream world.
And I think it is like I think it is an interesting contrast to like say Silent Hill 2, where it's like that is a game about like James drives into a town, walks around for a few hours, and then drives home. Right? Like in theory, like nothing happens, right? But even in that, there is this like he enters into the town. And there's this ambiguous space of the town that he then leaves into like the regular world, right? But in this, there is no like entry point or exit point, right? Like the closest you get is that flash at the end of the true end where you see Hinako like alone up on the hill, right? But then you get the like them, the two girls palling around in the village together, right? There is never that exit point. And I think that does create like, it is like ambiguous and weird. And also the way that there's sometimes like this kind of like, sometimes Fox Mask is like the guy she has an arranged marriage with and is her suitor. And sometimes he's like the incarnation of a fox spirit. And sometimes he's both. And there is not like a clear line or division between those things in the way that I think there kind of is like you can, one can argue that like all the other people that James meets in Silent Hill 2, like this is not my opinion, to be clear, but one could argue that they're all figments of his imagination, right? In a way that you can't really do here, but also there's so much ambiguity about what like is, real and what is not. And I think that also like the thing with like the torture sequence, right, is it's like there is this thing of like he's doing that to her in the context of the game, but that's also not literal. But does it like equate to an act of like, I think this is part of where like in some of the confusion and like your friction from the game comes from is this kind of like fuzziness around like how do I interpret this moment, right? In terms of like its relationship to the textual reality of the game, right?
Fuck. You just gave me another, like, Hinako is like literally seeing the corpse of her sister because she is married, because that is the end for her.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. All right. Yeah, basically what you said.
Well, thank you.
This next one is from Brian. What can games do to justify repeat playthroughs to quote unquote get the picture? I really appreciated how each time I play Silent Hill 2, it is a full experience, regardless of which ending you get. Silent Hill F is very prescriptive. One playthrough isn't the full picture. I liked F the first time around, but I'm wary of the structure being a flaw rather than a strength. It feels a bit bloated to me.
I think it's a little of both. I think the loop should be faster if it is going to be this big a part of it, of understanding the narrative.
Yep.
And there's probably other structural things I would change too, but like I think it's like, to me, the execution is flawed, but the idea is really strong in this case.
Yeah, I think we touched on like the budget of this game, and I think like it feels very scoped to one playthrough, and then everything else is just like things that they didn't. Well, that's not even true because there's a ton of new stuff in the like back third specifically, but like everything else like within the actual game is like marginally different in a way that they didn't need to generate new things for.
Yeah, it's like I almost think that you could this could be a version of this where like, I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense. It's like a new game plus file, but it's like you just regen at the end of the game, right? Instead of, and yeah, I don't know.
But then I wouldn't get the catty women in the window being like, I heard the fox is spitting her away.
That's true. You wouldn't get that. I mean, I do think there's also something about like, I don't know, this is my galaxy brain take that I'm not committed to, is that like there is something about like domestic life and repetition and routine and how that, relates to there being these repetitions. I think it is like an interesting thematic thing to chew through, but like, yeah, I just do wish that it was like, I mean, even just like a bit less obnoxious to get through, right? That it was a little less arduous. Because I think that's like part of the Silent Hill DNA is like being kind of a pain, and that also being kind of thematic.
Yeah.
But I think that like that really works when the game's 8 hours long or 5 hours long or 6 hours long, right? And it feels harder to sell when it is like, yeah, I have 40 hours on this baby.
Yeah.
And I know some of that is like pause time and, it's probably not total, but nevertheless.
Yeah. And I feel like just, for me, like playing it through that many times, like I just got tired of the story, which is like the worst thing that you could do. For me as,
I think
like, a player.
I think it did like I just kind of remember like playing it through the first time and like every cutscene being so entranced and like feeling the beats really intensely, feeling the way the story moved. And you don't really get that on the repeat playthroughs, especially if you're skipping cutscenes, right? Like, and so I think it is just, again, I see the vision, but but it is like, yeah, it's got issues for sure.
Yeah, especially when like there's stuff like there's like little Easter eggs for New Game Plus, like Sadako's Shrine, like you can see the monster in it. If you go there on the second playthrough. And that's like cool, but like you need more. There needs to be more bone or more meat on the bone.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're gonna like put in that can't be like the only thing, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
This one's from Faden. What non-horror game do you want to get a horror spin-off? What would be the standout mechanic?
Oh, what an interesting question. This is kind of a weird answer. But I would love to play like, I don't even know what a video game is, but I'd love to play like a sort of like a Black Death game, like a grimy medieval, maybe not super supernatural horror game. Maybe I'm just saying, what's the French rat game? What is that called? Plague?
Oh, A Plague Tale: Innocence.
A Plague Tale. Yeah. Maybe I'm just saying, what if that was really good? But the thing is the thing is those games have like a little bit of horror stuff in them, but they're way more like, it is The Last of Us, but set in medieval France.
Yeah.
It's like a cinematic adventure game more than it's like a survival horror game. And I think I would like something like, I don't know, sort of grimy and yeah, but that's not really like what franchise would I want, you know? Elder Scrolls horror game could be cool. I could fuck with that. That's kind of in a similar vein.
I'm going something give me a Kirby horror game.
Sure. Oh, okay. Do you play as Kirby or is Kirby the bad guy?
I think you're playing as Kirby and
okay.
You're in hell. I don't fucking know.
Is it like you saw the like Piglet survival horror game, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What was that called? I don't remember.
Piglet's Big Adventure or some shit.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, I don't.
Have you seen that? Sorry, this is not related to anything, but you've seen that TikTok that's like, oh, you thought this was a rabbit? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Fuck, you haven't seen this? Shit.
No.
It's like a lady holding a rabbit plushie, and she's like, oh, you thought this was a rabbit? And it turns it around, and it's like Winnie the Pooh wearing a rabbit suit. She says, it's Winnie the fucking Pooh, bitch, or something.
No,
fuck 4th of July. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, okay, yeah. Classic. I'm sorry, every video game franchise ever made has also evacuated from my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, I just scrolled past Psychonauts on Steam, and I was like, a Psychonauts horror game would be cool. And I'm like, that's just The Evil Within.
That's true. All right, I'm gonna move on to Gabe.
Yeah, please.
If Hinako were a teenager in the 2020s instead of the 1960s, what pronouns do you think they would be using by the events of the game? How far along their gender journey would they be? Would their 8 years in the future self be on T yet? This game makes it so clear to the player that she's not trans that I don't think this was what they would do.
Oh, it's very funny that you like already addressed this somehow.
There are multiple times in the game where Hinako says, I have no problems being biologically a woman. Yeah. I just hate how people treat me different because of my interests.
Yeah. Sometimes a girly sis,
which again,
you know?
I'm not meaning this as a criticism because I appreciate that the game is, you know, at a certain point, the game shouldn't bite off more than it can chew, right?
Yeah. Well, I also, not to be...
And there's truth in, like, the gender role stuff and, like,
Yeah.
It's just really funny that they did it like that.
Yeah. No, I think Hinako is cis to me.
Yeah.
And I love her. Big ups.
Yeah, for sure. The last one is from Nora. If every Silent Hill protagonist were dropped into an arena with 4 metal pipes sprinkled around randomly as the only weapons, who would be the last one standing? For the purpose of this question, yes, repeated protagonists from remakes, etc., are present as multiple distinct people.
Oh my god, that's such a Nora question. Okay, here's my... Okay, wait, also, major important question that Nora has not played this game, but, like, are 2 Hinakos there?
Oh.
Is Wolf Arm Hinako there? Because if Wolf Arm Hinako is there, she wins. That's it. It's over.
But, true. I was going to ask if, like, they have to use the metal pipes, but there's only 4.
Oh,
and there's more than 4 Silent Hill protagonists.
Yes, that's true.
But yeah, she would fuck him up.
Yeah, I also I don't know. The thing is that, like, Hinako has the most video game mechanics at her disposal.
They gave a high school girl a dash.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Nobody else got a dash.
Yeah, you hit B and she jumps a few feet away. It's crazy.
Yeah.
High school girls can parry.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, James Sutherland Silent Hill 2 remake, he's got iframes, but he can't parry. You know what I'm saying? So the answer might just be Hinako.
Yeah.
God. Very good question. Thank you very much.
We fucking did it.
Yeah, we did. Well, this is, I don't think we hit Alan Wake 2 length, but we're close.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rose. This was a delight. I enjoyed this so much.
Yeah, if you're new here, patreon.com/thesaferoom. We have a bunch of stuff on our Patreon, including podcasts about horror movies and other fun stuff as well. Handheld talk I do with Amr. We just talk about video games for like an hour and insult each other for an hour, and it's a fun time.
Did I... my wife really likes handheld talk. I don't know if you
really?
Knew that, yeah.
I did not know this.
To it. Yeah. Well, I should, like, tell her to hit you up. But yes, she listens to it when it comes out.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I should have told you. I'm sorry.
I really have not interacted with Emma at all.
Yeah.
I just remember the one time we made her sit through the fucking ending of Resident Evil 5 because we took like 5 years to finish the one fucking lava level.
I vaguely remember that. Oh god. Sometimes I forget that we played that together.
I know.
It feels almost like it's like, have you ever had you have an argument with someone or like a stressful experience and you like look back on it and you're like, I can't remember like anything that happened in that like hour. That's kind of how playing Resident Evil 5 feels. It's like, I like kind of remember I remember him punching the boulder. I remember like it being really racist.
I remember it being continually racist as it got along.
Yeah, it got like more racist as it continued.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You have Closet Crit that you do with Soph. And Emma's also on an episode.
Yeah. We'll see. I need to actually check in with Soph about recording again, but we might do another guest ep at some point, but But
that's the thinking person's safe room podcast.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, we kind of just someone brings something with some kind of philosophical bent, and we basically just yap about it. Twilight comes up a lot. It's a good show, and I would like to do it more. So yeah, and we just put out an episode about Octavia Butler's short story, and I think that was really good discussion. So
I have to read that short story.
Rose, it's fucking good.
I had to read Parable of the Sower in college, and I loved it.
Yeah, I've only read this short story and Pattern Master, I think it's called, which I really enjoyed, but I need to get back to going through stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the podcast. Do you have anything to plug or anything like that?
No. I mean, I'm on Endless Mode. I'm on websites. Follow me on Blue Sky, I guess. Grace Machine at bluesky.social.
Yeah.
graceinthemachine.com, I guess. That's what I got.
That's a podcast. Thank you for listening. You made it almost 3 hours.
Hell yeah.
This is ridiculous. Next time we're playing fucking, what's this game called? Silly Poly Beast.
That's what it's called.
And it just came out last month. It is like an indie game that seems to just be about I don't know what it's about really. It looks to be about a game about being a woman and also perhaps queer ? But it also has like some like surrealist stuff that looks really cool to me. So we're playing it.
Yeah. Yep.
Truly one of the games that I saw and was like, this looks sick. Let's play it.
Yeah. Oh, also, because we didn't say on Found Footage what we were going to watch next month. Because also we hadn't decided. But we're going to watch Interview with the Vampire, the original movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, I think. Because I'm reading the book and I want to talk about it. And also it's like, I don't know if you know this, Rose, and it's perhaps obvious, but it is like major Twilight source text. So I'm excited to talk about that element of it as well.
Sick.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.